Get your life on track and aboard the success train by embracing the failures that life has gifted you. That's right. This podcast is all about embracing your failures in order to succeed in any part of your life. Hi, my name is Crystal and I am your host here at Fail to Succeed. Hello, my lovely friends. Welcome to my podcast. I am so just insanely excited that you are here. Thank you so much for listening. Before we get started, let me just let you know that this episode is brought to you by Coyote Road LLC, a fabulous fabrication company here in New Mexico, serving the entire Southwest with everything from custom gates, fence panels, custom metal signs, metal and wood furniture, artificial green wall systems, privacy screens, and CNC plasma cutting, and wood routing. If you'd like to get in touch with them about your project, go to www.coyoteroadllc.com or email at info@coyoteroadllc.com. All right, what's up, everyone? Hope you had a fabulous week. Happy Monday. Welcome to a brand new week, and welcome to Fail to Succeed. My week was pretty mundane, I must say. I think it's just, pretty difficult to have any extraordinary experiences during these times. But hey, we are alive, and that itself is unbeatable. I worked all week except for Monday, obviously, because of the Memorial Day holiday. And in the evenings last week, I studied for my real estate exam. Whoop, whoop, what? Yep, that's right. I am trying to get my New Mexico real estate license. I want to know the ins and outs and the trends of real estate and get that experience to teach me and tell me where I should invest our money in to purchase the best possible investment homes. But we're going to leave that topic for another podcast, so please stay tuned. Other than that, the house was a bit lonely. My husband left to California to go deliver some product. He took a huge trailer bed full of really cool custom artificial green plant spheres for a client there. But let me tell you though, that week apart was much needed. Not that I don't love my husband, I do. But when you live and work together and you're with each other 24/7, these breaks that we get are gold. They are gold for us because it gives us time to just miss each other, So definitely missed him, and I am crazy excited that he's finally back. So yeah, all right. So today we're going to dive into one of the 3 pillars that this podcast is going to be based off of. It is crazy important to set the tone and have the right foundation for the topics that we're going to be talking about here. So the 3 pillars that Fail to Succeed will be based off of are fear, belief, and choice. And today we're going to talk about fear. Really quick side note, guys, before we dive in. Did you know that there's an actual word for fear of failures? Yeah, and it's called atikiphobia. And no, I'm not talking about tiki torches, although maybe some people are scared of those too. But no, it is one word altogether, atikiphobia. And if you didn't know that, well, there's something new for you to learn today. Okay, let's get serious. Let's talk about fear. Okay, so what is fear? So the actual definition from Webster is this: an unpleasant, often strong emotion caused by anticipation or awareness of danger. I mean, fear is pretty natural. It's a natural human emotion, right? It's powerful feeling that causes actual body responses and also emotional responses. Oh, and a little side note, but I don't want to get too off track here. Did you know that a Harvard research tells us that our body responds the same way when we feel fear and when we feel excitement? Isn't that weird? I never thought that until I found that, and I was like, that's crazy. And you can actually train yourself to shift that fear into excitement. I am yet to master this. But it is important. Definitely something we will talk about in the future in another episode. So again, stay tuned. So much stuff coming your way. Now, going back to the definition of fear. When I read the definition, I was like, whoa, fear is like our internal warning detector, which is a good thing, right? Right? We are warned by fear not to jump off that cliff because guess what? You will most likely die. Yes. Okay, so fear is a good thing for survival. Can we agree on that? Do you agree? I would say yes. Yes, it is. But here is where we have to draw the line, guys. See, fear is kind of like a primitive emotion that has kept humans alive for many, many years, right? I mean, back in the Stone Age, they had one thing to worry about. And what was that? To not get eaten. That's right. That is right. They weren't in their caves sobbing over how little followers they had in their Cavestagram. Whew, okay, bring it back a little bit. So, the fear was driven by pure survival, right? That's it. And that was okay, that's good. And nowadays, I feel that fear has kind of turned up like 100 notches. I mean, you guys, I was looking up at how many types of fears there are nowadays, and it is mind-blowing. I did not know how many there were. If you get a chance, not now if you're driving, but when you get a chance, go to Wikipedia and search list of fears. A list of phobias is going to come up. And when you scroll down, you'll see an unbelievable amount of fears. And here are some examples that I'm seeing right now. Is fear of trees, fear of swallowing, fear of computers, fear of houses, and the list goes on and on and on and on. And I want you to understand that most of these are personality disorders that result from our surrounding environments. So what we surround ourselves with is what's causing these personality disorders. Now, let me tone it down a little bit. It's getting a little stuffy in here. What am I trying to say with all this mumbo jumbo? What I'm trying to tell you guys is that fear is an emotion that we ourselves trained our bodies to feel over and over and more with the different situations we are put in. We literally programmed ourselves to feel fear on an auto response level when there really isn't anything to fear. Oh, I'll put myself as an example and my mom on blast, kind of. Sorry. Love you, Mom. When I was a little girl and we'd go shopping or go to the grocery store, I remember minding my own business when out of nowhere we'd find a child on the floor crying uncontrollably and a distressed mother. I remember my mom would turn and look at me and tell me, if you cry, you're going to look like that kid. Look how ugly she looks. Is that how ugly you want to look when you cry? And I would just take a moment and I was like, yeah, I would never do that, Mom. I don't want to look like that. I would never. What kind of a kid cries like that? That's insane. Obviously, I would say that to please her. And now I know you're thinking that was pretty harsh to be telling a 4 or 5-year-old, right? But hey, it was different times, it was different cultures, and I'm over it. So I grew up being cautious to never cry in front of people because I was afraid to look ugly. Isn't that nuts? It wasn't until my late 20s that I realized it was just a mental game to keep me from crying as a kid and making a scene. Well, it worked, Mom. Good job. Congratulations. But it gave me this weird fear of crying in front of people for the longest time. Obviously now, I'm completely over it because now I cry for everything. I don't care who's watching, even with a Chevy commercial and puppies. I don't know. But yeah, that totally happens. My point here, guys, is don't let decades go by before identifying your fears, even if it's as small as not crying in front of people. Like I did, okay? We need to get rid of those. I am telling you this so that you don't have to go that long like I did. You and I, we don't need that extra cocktail of irrational fears. We just need the one to stay alive. So how can we start identifying these useless, irrational fears? How? Well, I'm happy that you asked, because the next time we feel fear coming over us, whether it's in the form of screaming, anger, sadness, isolation, anxiety, panic, or however it is that you feel fear, guess what? You, my friend, have identified a fear. Ding, 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 winner! Woo! Now let's use those fears to our advantage. Identify, then rectify, okay? Identify, then rectify. That sounds like that should be in a rap song. I'm just going to say that really quick. I mean, there you go, Snoop Dogg. Just another lyrical genius over here, giving away free material. Thank you and you're welcome. Haha. Okay, I'm out of control again. All right, focus. Identify, then rectify. So how are we going to rectify these irrational fears? This is how it's going to go down next time you have, or I have, we have an irrational fear. We're in this together, all right? Feel the fear. Oh my God, I'm scared. No. Okay, now stop. Take a deep breath. You, my friend, have identified a fear. Now, we're going to take a moment to challenge this fear after we calm down so that we can think clearly and ask ourselves, what proof do I have that makes this fear valid? What proof do I have that makes this fear valid? Go ahead. Answer the question. And answer it honestly. You might come up with bogus answers or nothing at all, because irrational fears have been programmed into our auto response for so many years and we don't even know why. But now we can take control and start breaking it down and freeing ourselves from it. Oh man, let's just take a pause right here and give ourselves a round of applause because we just flipped the script on our own fears. Damn right we did. Now, it's not going to be easy to remember these steps every time, especially when you're in full distress. Okay, so here's what I want you to do is just take a moment, think about one or two fears that you have, and just think about the challenge. How can you challenge those fears? Think about it, answer the question, and keep it in your mind, because that's going to prepare you for when that fear presents itself again. The challenge is also going to present itself with it, and you're going to be able to control that, and it'll help out with the mess before it even begins. So you will be a lot more prepared this way. I'm going to tell you one of my irrational fears. I'm scared to try physically demanding outdoor activities simply because I'm afraid to hurt myself. I'm afraid to hurt my body. For example, whenever my husband asks me to go snowboarding with him, I'm like, nope, no way, bro. And here is my thought process on how that goes. First of all, I don't even know how to snowboard. And if we go, I'm going to slam pretty hard. I might get a concussion even with this helmet on. Or I might break my wrist or my arm trying to catch myself from a slam. And then I won't be able to work. And how are we going to pay bills? And it's going to take a long time to heal. And I'm going to lose trust in my husband for even suggesting the activity because he should have known that I cannot snowboard and I didn't want to go in the first place. And he pushed me, and excuses and excuses and excuses, one after the other, right? That's it. So now you might be like, yeah, that's pretty reasonable here. Well, let me challenge it here. What if I went snowboarding and took a lesson from someone, an instructor there? Maybe that's what I did all day, and I did it, and I felt safe, and we went slow, and the instructor was nice, and I actually had a good time, and I learned how to snowboard a little bit. That right there, just saying that, changed something inside me, an internal emotion of fear to, oh, okay, well, that's not so bad. That actually sounds kind of fun. I could do that. I don't think I'll get a concussion going 0 miles an hour down the bunny slopes. So I just challenged my fear to a positive thought. So the next time my husband asks to go snowboarding, I will go and take a lesson. And if you guys have any other cool ideas other than that for me to overcome this, please email me at classiccrystal@gmail.com. And I can share your thoughts as well with other listeners here, because we are in this together. And the thing is, guys, that a lot of the times when I'm scared to do something and I push myself through it and I do it anyway, it ends up being kind of fun. I'm not going to lie. And then I'm like, oh yeah, that wasn't that bad. I could do that again. Has that ever happened to you? I know it probably has, and that's why it's kind of funny. I giggle because it's like, ugh, my gosh, just do it. Irrational fears are just walls that keep us from doing fun things that we enjoy and we can enjoy with the people that we love and just, friends, family. So, let's get rid of them. So the big takeaway from this episode is fear is our friend. 1, because it keeps us from danger, right? Right? Cool. 2, because they are indicators that we can start to control. I believe that the only way it's going to work is if we practice. Because practice makes better people. And better people make better families and better relationships, right? So don't be afraid of your fears. Welcome them and rectify them so that we can overcome them. Yep. With that being said, friends, this brings us to the end of this episode. Next week, we will be talking about belief and how it can help us manifest our dreams into reality. So please join me again next week. If you are new to this podcast, I post 1 podcast per week. New episodes drop every Monday morning at 6 a.m. Mountain Standard Time to get you ready for each and every single week. Also, I'd love to hear from you guys. If you have any thoughts, questions, situations you want me to discuss, please email me at classiccrystal@gmail.com, and that is spelled ClassicCrystal@gmail.com. Thank you for listening to Fail to Succeed. Don't forget to subscribe to this podcast and leave a good rating, preferably those 5 stars, so that I am able to reach more people like you. Like us on Facebook and Instagram, handle @Fail to Succeed Podcast. And please share this podcast with your friends, your family, or anyone who might find this helpful. Okay. I hope you have a sensational week. Stay positive, my friends, and we'll chat again next week. Bye-bye.